Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
At LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Well, Republicans in Congress keep working on a massive budget bill that Democrats warn could cut key programs like Medicaid. GOP Senator Joni Ernst has new legislation that aims to boost U.S. manufacturing with bigger federal loans, telling Fox.
The bill will actually double the amount of capital that our small businesses are able to secure from the Small Business Administration.
On Wall Street, stocks could surge at the opening bell. Dow and NASDAQ futures are both up more than 300 points. Scandal near Syracuse, New York, involving a high school lacrosse team.
Onondaga County DA Bill Fitzpatrick says all 11 West Hill High School players involved will be charged with unlawful imprisonment after taking the younger players on what they thought was a team trip last week that was to end in a McDonald's. The driver pretended to be lost and pulled over in a remote area where others were waiting in the woods, armed with at least one knife and a weapon that appeared to be a gun. He says one victim had his hands tied and a hood placed over his head and was led to believe he would be left there.
This goes way beyond, hazing.
The school outside Syracuse has canceled the remainder of the team's games for the season. In New York, Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, the Lakers are out. KO'd by Minnesota after the Timberwolves won Game 5 in LA, 103-96. Luka Doncic, who was traded to the Lakers 3 months ago, said after the loss,
I think I didn't play the way I should. I think as a team, we didn't play the way we could. But I think congratulations to Minnesota. They play hell of a series. They were the better team, honestly.
Minnesota will play the winner of Houston versus Golden State. The Rockets stayed alive, forcing a Game 6, beating the Warriors last night, 131-116. In the NHL playoffs, the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers advanced to the second round, eliminating Tampa Bay. Washington also moves on, knocking out Montreal. Winnipeg took a 3-2 series lead, beating St. Louis. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It's a May Day edition of the Valley's Morning News, May 1st, 2025. Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thank you so much for being with us. Grand opening for the new Hidalgo County Courthouse. That would be today. The courthouse, it opened for business in late March, more than 6 years after construction began and plenty of cost overruns. Parking around the courthouse, it's limited, though there's some additional parking over at Edinburgh City Hall. The ceremony today, of course, the reception, blessing, and the ribbon cutting at the new Hidalgo County Courthouse. In Austin, lawmakers are looking to crack down on child sex trafficking at the southern border. There is legislation being considered in the legislature that would fund rapid DNA testing done by DPS of any families that claim to be families and adults that have kids with them.
It is a 90-minute test, so it can quickly reunify family units if there is a suspicion.
State Representative Terry Leo Wilson.
Protecting children from being trafficked and in identifying fraudulent migration schemes.
The representative points to a federal pilot program that was run by Immigration Customs Enforcement back in 2019. And it found that 1 in 3 suspected families were not biologically related. But there are concerns that the DNA testing would be separating families with adopted children. It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Governor Greg Abbott continues to turn up the pressure on the Texas House to pass his bail reform bill.
According to Governor Abbott, stopping repeat violent criminals from attacking again is a problem with judges and the state constitution.
Judges must automatically deny bail for violent crimes like murder, rape, and human trafficking.
And that's going to take a constitutional amendment. He needs 100 votes in the House. He's already banking on 88 Republicans.
It's just a matter of gaining the support of 12 Democrats. If you have just the Democrat delegation from the greater Houston area, that would get it done.
The problem, a coalition of House Democrats have vowed to block constitutional amendments in retaliation for the Republicans passing school choice vouchers. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And as today is May 1st, we turn the calendar. There is much to prepare for during the month of May.
May doesn't just bring the promise of better weather. It's a month full of activities and celebrations. We'll watch 20 horses run for the roses in the Kentucky Derby, celebrate Star Wars Day on May the 4th, Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day, and lots of food days, including Shrimp Day and Chocolate Chip Day. And you can wash all that down on National Wine Day on the 25th. We'll wrap things up with Memorial Day and the start of barbecue season. It's going to be a great month. I'm Bree Tennis.
Let's keep all those separate. What do you say? Like shrimp and chocolate chips. Yeah, that's not a good mix. And the barbecue. Yeah, let's start with a barbecue, then some shrimp, and then the chocolate chips for dessert. That's the way to do it. Yeah, they don't follow the calendar that way though. It is AccuWeather time, and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us, and we want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. Well, soon enough, it will be a scorcher around here. We'll have triple-digit temperatures. Good thing the forecast doesn't show that right now. Going to be a scorcher this summer, so make sure that your cattle have Purina liquid feed. And they've got all this top-quality feed at Martin Farm and Ranch, certified dealer of Purina liquid feed, Martin Farm and Ranch. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. Bless you, Jeffy. I heard you sneeze there a second ago.
Thank you.
All right, so temperatures across the area, conditions, and we'll get an update on that chance of rain for the weekend. So what you got?
Well, we're sitting at 78 in Brownsville, 77 McAllen, 75 in Harlingen, and 76 to 75 Weslaco, Edinburgh. So pretty steady.
I was checking, doing the round robin early this morning. I checked, see what's going on up in Dallas and Houston and Central Texas there in San Antonio. So the guys in Houston were complaining, hey, what happened to all the promised rain? So I'm going, uh-oh. If they didn't get the rain they were expecting up there, what's the chance for us? So what's the update this morning, Jeff?
Well, we're going to see nothing today, nothing tomorrow, and then, Saturday, we'll have showers and thunderstorms pushing through. That'll begin, could even start tomorrow night into Saturday, and then last into part of Sunday before it tapers off. Thunderstorms are questionable Monday, and then as we go into Monday night and Tuesday, it's a little bit more likely.
Okay. Are you throttling back a little bit as far as the amount of rain that we might see in the region?
Not yet. We're still keeping the rainfall amounts up. So we got by end of day Sunday should be at around an inch.
You know what was interesting to see on AccuWeather.com? Some of the maps that y'all put up there, it looks like with all the blue tint and the hues on that map over the next several days. That's like a May cool front, right? Do we dare call it a cool front for May for other parts of the country?
There's some, yeah. So looking ahead to the weekend, even there's a big central area from pretty much Dallas to, let's say, central Iowa, maybe even into Illinois, where it's going to cool off this weekend. And then there's trending cooler as you look to the west, and therefore eventually that'll move east.
I didn't see any food on the day's calendar, although we can tell you, go buy some cake for your school principal, because today we celebrate school principals. That's what's on the calendar for today.
Oh, nice.
All right. Thank you, Jeffy. We'll call you next hour. That's AccuWeather.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on News Talk 710 KURV. Again, upper 70s at the moment, and we're looking at temperatures upper 90s for today. Time is 7:12 on the Valley's Morning News. Hey, stick around. You will not want to miss the conversation with Gilbert Salinas. He's the Director of Economic Development at Brownsville. Man, there are so many projects that are on the plate and symposiums and things that are on the calendar. Do not miss that conversation coming up. Yes, it affects your pocketbook, Meantime, the UIL is targeting parents who misbehave at sporting events.
The governing body of high school sports in Texas cheering a move to crack down on bad parents whose behavior disrupts games.
Fan behavior has gotten pretty out of control, as you can imagine.
The UIL's Jamie Harrison says they can't find refs because of parent behavior. State lawmakers stepping in. Right now, refs must give parents a verbal warning before kicking them out. That would go away under legislation that seeks to quickly de-escalate fights in the stands.
Yeah, all this fighting leading to less refs volunteering for the sporting events. That's why they're trying to crack down on all this. Time is 7:13. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Space-related activity. A new park that is hosting industry coming to the area quickly because of liquefied natural gas construction. Yes, the space industry in Brownsville. It's an economic revolution that we're witnessing in the Rio Grande Valley. And a quick summary of that and what's on the calendar for the month of May. Gilbert Salinas, Director of Brownsville Economic Development, next on the Valley's Morning News.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Happy Super Mother's Day! We have a Super Mom contest on our Facebook and Instagram accounts. That's right. The way it works is like this. You go to our Facebook and Instagram account, you look for the Super Mom post, and you nominate your mama. The two mamas, they get the most likes, get up to a $500 gift card. That's right. Go to shampoozy.com for more details. Nominate your Super Mom today. See store for details.
Shampoozy.com. Think tires, think Pueblo.
Charlie Kirk here, host of The Charlie Kirk Show, inviting you to stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, coming up a little later on this morning starting at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV.
Thank you much for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. This radio station home to the Astros. Next up is the Chi Sox. So that would be a broadcast tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on News Talk 710 KURV. Big thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and the Mission Economic Development Office. Gilbert Salinas is with the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. That would be the economic development arm of our city of Brownsville. Well, welcome back, Gilbert. Tell me a bit more of the Brownsville Tech Park that you've been talking about of late.
Morning, Sergio, and thanks for having us on your show. So the Brownsville Tech Park, we've got a groundbreaking ceremony scheduled for May 22nd, later this month in the evening. And it's going to be the first 100 acres that we're going to be breaking ground of a 700-plus acre master planned. It's a combination of an industrial park, business park, as well as a tech park. And the tech park, the idea there is because of the SpaceX operation that's here in the Brownsville area, as well as the LNG plants and a couple other advanced manufacturers, major advanced manufacturers that are coming to the area. It just makes sense now to start having an area which, well, no pun intended, right? But a landing pad of sorts for some of these suppliers that are following these very forward-thinking companies.
Sure.
Very, very excited, major investment for our organization, for our city. But it's an investment for the future of industry and jobs.
Is it preemptive of sorts? Is it in reaction to all the phone calls coming in, or you already have some folks that are setting up shop? You just need somewhere to put them.
Yeah, well, it's a combination of the two. It is a little bit overdue. I think if I was telling my leadership, if we would have built this park 2-3 years ago, we would have been in a great position today to really capture some of the companies that are out there shopping right now. But that being said, it's getting done now. and we already have an LOI from a major supplier that's coming in following these particular companies. In addition to other prospects. As a matter of fact, they were hosting 2 prospects specifically
Excellent.
following these manufacturers and looking at our park as well.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect, especially now. We've been talking so much of late of how, of course, manufacturing in the U.S. is so popular of late, and so much manufacturing headed this way. You mentioned that this is the first of more acreage that will be available. Are there any other industrial parks or tech parks that you're considering in the region? There's plenty of space to build.
There's plenty of space, and there's plenty of space where we can actually build for industry and for manufacturing, especially when you start looking at the Port of Brownsville and the synergies that we play off of each other. So this is a first. There are a couple of other planned industrial parks. I think one of them is going to be more on the tech side as well, but those are private investments. At ours, we are, again, it's going to be a combination of several within the 700 plus acres, and hopefully being able to expand upon those 700 acres. So there's bigger plans for what the initial 100 acres is just the start of a much bigger picture as far as what we're doing to support the industry that's coming in.
Gilbert Salinas is director of the economic development arm in our city of Brownsville, the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. You mentioned the port, and if you could just touch on real quick update on that big project for the port, much anticipated. A lot of folks in the business community talking about it, even at the port. $200 million project. I know it's supposed to make a splash. Are we still expecting it to make some announcement? I don't know, summer or something like that. What's the latest?
Yeah, so I think we're hopefully just a few weeks away from making the announcement. Between ourselves and what the Port of Brownsville has. There's 3 solid projects that, like everything else in economic development, we can't disclose names until the very, very end, and when the client or the prospect in this case is comfortable with it. But yes, one of those is what I consider a game changer, very similar to a SpaceX, the LNG plants, and the other 2 are companies that are following those 2 operations as well. So we're almost there.
Yeah, no, I understood, and from what I was told, the commitment is there. They're just lining up to be happy how they park this big company. The potential economic benefit of this, más o menos, job creation, maybe in dollar figures. Can you share something like that? Because at a time like this, I know behind the scenes, so many people are excited, and we got some feeder industries of purchases and hiring taking place. What's the potential economic benefit to us in dollars and in job creation?
Okay, between these 3 companies, we're looking at about close to about 1,000 jobs. I think it's 900 plus jobs. Very good high salaries, actually.
Are those the permanent jobs or the construction ramp up?
Those are permanent jobs.
Permanent jobs.
Those are the permanent jobs. There's the construction numbers are not like in LNG plants. They're fewer, but the permanent, it's 900 plus jobs. Capital investment is about $700 million between those 3 companies, and its economic impact over a 10-year period, it's about $6 to $7 billion in economic impact over the next 10 years for these 3 companies. Which again, the reason we have these companies coming into our area is a result of having those 2 huge forces coming into our area a few years back. So we're starting to see that. And we had the city of Brownsville hosted a former President Fox in Brownsville earlier this week, and he was asked, to give an opinion as to what Brownsville and the Rio Grande Valley has. And what was very interesting is he knows this area because he's he grew up on a farm, and so they used to come to the valley to purchase machinery, but then also learn new agricultural techniques and what have you. So he said, between those projects that Brownsville has, you all have no idea how that area is going to transform. So he compared it to his home state of Guanajuato. when they landed a Ford and a GM automotive plant.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that allowed us to develop the cluster that you see there today, 20 years later, right? A full-fledged cluster of several hundred companies that followed suit after those two major companies settled in. And he said, that's exactly where you're at right now. You're in that cluster development phase. And in economic development, when you hear the word cluster, that's pretty significant. So coming back to those companies that we're just on the cusp of announcing is part of that cluster that we're building. And Sergio, I've always said it. I always think you're looking at my cheat sheet, but it goes back to it's part reactive and it's part proactive.
Yeah,
we had this part 2 years ago ready to go. We would have been so much farther ahead of the game, but here we are today.
Yeah,
and we're hosting prospects. Literally today we're hosting two major prospects.
well, I would say part of it is that the fact that you're here again and working air traffic control when it comes to landing all these jobs with the, my goodness, the trillions of dollars that have been committed to investments in our nation of late, all of it repositioning because of tariffs and trade policy. And of course, everybody wants access to customer number one, the U.S. It's understood. Yeah, definitely. We should be throwing that net out. And thanks to you and the gang there, John Cowan, and of course everybody else at City Hall, the city manager, you guys are casting that net to try to capture that industry. And I would hope that your efforts and like Rioplex and all these other folks selling. I know we can land more industry in South Texas.
It's interesting you mentioned casting the net and Mayor Cowan. Next week we're hosting a trade mission to Monterrey.
Okay.
Which is basically our backyard. Or if you ask people in Monterrey, they'll say Brownsville, the Valley, the island is their backyard. But it's a trade mission where we're partnering with Harlingen EDC, Cameron County EDC, and the ports of Brownsville and the ports of Harlingen.
Nice.
Starting with this region here and really going out there and promoting this place for inbound investment. Again, because they've got industrial space. We're getting ready to put some industrial space out there. So I think we've got about 70 to 80 investors, corporate executives lined up for that mission. And we're just super excited. It's the first time that Brownsville and the Harlingen EDCs, it just makes a lot of sense. We partner up to cast that net.
Yeah. No, combined, there's a lot of muscle there.
Yeah.
And all the potential positions you can fill with a population, and of course the colleges, the schools, the university, everything that we have there to train and get everybody. A space symposium. You were maybe wanting to touch about that. We'll close on that one.
Yeah. So we're hosting our first ever Brownsville Space Symposium in conjunction with Space Fest. That's going to be later. We're in May already. Later this month, May 28th, and that's going to be at the Set B building at the TSC here in Brownsville. And we've got it's about a 3-4 hour event in the evening. So we've got several speakers lined up. We've got Norman Garza, who's the president of the newly formed Texas Space Commission, coming in. Our audience is going to be a mix of business and community leadership. And then we're also going to have some students from STEMs from our local school districts, as well as a community college and UTRGV. And the symposium is our way of generating some excitement over these new sectors that are coming into the area, space and to a certain extent energy, and also helping develop that pipeline of talent, homegrown talent for these companies. And then we've got the three other speakers. One is with Firefly out of Austin, and then also from SpaceX. And the speakers are actual homegrown, high-level people within the organization that are going to come in and tell their story about how they got interested in space and how they got into those respective companies and how they're having success there. Kind of like, some of our homegrown role models for our future talent or existing talent that are looking to get into that industry. And then we'll close with a guest speaker, which we'll be revealing next Monday or Tuesday. Major player in the space sector, and that one's we're just super, pumped about that person that's coming in. So we'll be announcing it next week. So again, just it's all about connecting the dots, Sergio, as far as the tech park, proactive, reactive, the trade mission, the cluster development, the symposium, which is one of those dots to help take this area to a whole different level.
10-4. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd be real excited if our neighbor Elon Musk can leave his nice little house and go speak at that event. That would be really exciting if he could speak in there.
So close yet so far away.
I got you.
He's a hard one to get.
Yeah, the 10-4. All right, 30 seconds. Anything you want to share, like job numbers, quick project, anything real quick?
Okay. Yeah. So just in this last year, I think our tally, we're at about 5,000 plus jobs that were created. The bulk of those, again, is SpaceX, the LNGs, and some of those companies that are helping them out. According to our local just tracking data, we expect to have the same amount of job growth going into next year. Another 4,000 to 5,000 new jobs. That's just phenomenal, unbelievable.
Well, ¿dónde los pones? Like, where do you put all these people? My goodness. I think Freddie and I are going to invest in a food truck. We're just going to park out there and just.
One last thing. Yesterday, I went and bought a lot, residential lot, right? And I was, just my economic development, and I was asking the residential developer how business was, and he said, in my 50 years of developing, this is the first time where I'm actually literally selling lots like pancakes. I mean, he said I'm selling about 100 lots a month right now, which
beautiful.
With one developer only. He said, which before it was between 20 to maybe 30 on a very good month. I think that's an indicator of what's happening and things to come.
Let's keep going. Gilbert, congratulations, and we'll look forward to our next conversation with you. Thank you, Gilbert. That's Gilbert Salinas. He's the Director of Economic Development for Brownsville. Take care.
Thank you, Sergio.
He said pancakes ready. Now I'm hungry, Chihuahua. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. One of the bigger stories of the morning, Ukraine and the U.S. signing a rare minerals deal.
It comes almost 2 months after a White House meeting between Trump and Zelensky derailed talks on the deal. Zelensky has declined to sign the previous proposals of the deal, which requires Ukraine to relinquish a major share of its future oil, gas, and mineral revenues. Ukraine has long called for security guarantees from the U.S. as part of any peace deal. The deal will provide the U.S. access to new investment projects meant to develop Ukraine's natural resources, such as aluminum, graphite, oil, and natural gas. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott going after a city council, San Marcos, Texas. In San Marcos, they are trying to pass a resolution that would call for a boycott of all things Israel and support for a Palestinian state. The governor is threatening to hold some state dollars if the city council, San Marcos, Texas, passes forward with that resolution on the agenda for May 6th up there. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Your station for Astros baseball. Check of sports up next.
Spotlight on your health. Brought to you by DHR Health.
From the DHR Health Heart Institute, board-certified, fellowship-trained, cardiothoracic surgeon, Dr. Victor Reese.
It's a pleasure to be at DHR Health. It's a pleasure to be back in the Valley. I grew up in Brownsville, Texas. My dad, he was a primary practice physician in Brownsville for over 30 years. And it was always interesting running into my dad's patients in the community. They would stop me and say, hey, we love your dad. He helped save my loved one's life, the impact that my father had on his community. And I certainly wanted to be able to impact community in a similar fashion. Ultimately, I chose to pursue a fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery. So a cardiothoracic surgery fellowship teaches you about the surgical treatment of disease in both the heart, the lung, and an area in the middle of the chest. You learn to do complex operations on the heart, replace heart valves, and even replace major parts of the arteries of the body. In addition, you also do thoracic surgery, and that involves removing tumors in the middle of the chest, lung cancers, esophageal cancer as well. I have an outpatient office. I see patients on a weekly basis. One thing that I learned in medical school is that you have a finite amount of time to interact with patients. However, in cardiothoracic surgery, we're a very low volume specialty, which means I have very few patients and I get to spend a lot of time with them. DHR is a wonderful health system. I was very impressed when I interviewed here. I find that they spend a lot of time listening to the physicians, listening to our needs, and they're constantly trying to push the envelope in terms of providing cutting-edge care for the patients here in the Valley.
From the DHR Health Heart Institute, board-certified, fellowship-trained, cardiothoracic surgeon, Dr. Victor Reese, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life. Coming up after the Valley's morning news, stay tuned for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, starting at 9, followed by the Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Parami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
Rangers struggled last night again offensively in the tough rubber match, but the game was much closer than the score would tell as Texas lost to the A's 7-1. Rangers play again later today at 1:05. And the Astros last night couldn't get enough offense going to keep the Tigers at bay. But it was good to see the number 9 prospect, A.J. Blueball, have a good first start in the majors. Astros play again Friday versus the White Sox at 6:40. I'm Trevor Beck, TSN Sports.
The Timberwolves knocked the Lakers out of the playoffs to advance to the Western Conference semis. The Timberwolves will have to wait as the Rockets came out swinging, stave off elimination, crushed the Warriors, force a Game 6. Capitals skate past the Canadians to win their first playoff series since 2018. Capitals will face the Hurricanes in round 2. For the second straight year, the Panthers eliminate the Lightning from the playoffs. The Jets, with a 2-goal second period, beat the Blues, take a 3-2 series lead. The NFL has fined the Falcons $250,000 and D coordinator Jeff Ulbrich $100,000 over the prank call made to Shedeur Sanders during last week's draft. That's sports. I'm Rhonda Moss.
You like the weather yesterday, you get the same today. The temperatures in the mid-upper 90s, mostly mid-90s, and overnight upper 70s. That is where we are. It is 76 to 78 degrees across South Texas. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Again, these are wait times headed back to the U.S. Right-hand margin of KURV.com homepage. Scroll down. There it is. The report from Customs. It is 30 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge, 45 minutes at Farm. And for Brownsville, about 30 to 45 minutes, B&M Gateway and the Veterans Bridge. Also, south of Harlingen at Los Indios, same thing, about 45 minutes. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Might there be a toy shortage for Las Christmas? They're talking about it right now. This is the time they're talking about the supply chain for toys. And because of tariffs, things are a bit complicated right now. Some of the business news of your morning. Next on 710 KURV, live at Radio Parami. Download the app. Trust and a good reputation is something that you can build a life on, a business on, but you got to keep it, right? You have to perform all the time. That would be DLJ Commercial Roofing, my friend Dale Johnson, for the longest time, an entire lifetime. I'm here to announce that my friend Dale Johnson has locked arms and has combined forces with an impressive group that he's so impressed in them. He said, you know what? That's it. We're going to take it to the next level. My friend my friend Dale Johnson from DLJ, his entire team are now part of a major outfit that has the same culture of excellence. That's what I will refer to it. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. they are committed to superior customer service, making sure that you are happy as a business owner, as a business manager. You are happy with any of the repair work or retrofit, new installation, whatever it is that they do. Waterproofing at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, even for your house at Chamberlain, they go above and beyond, just like Dale does. He's been doing it, and now he has combined forces with Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Dale trusts them. You should trust Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing as well. So it all starts with a conversation for advanced technology, cutting-edge technology in roof installation, waterproofing technology, and a huge many of more services that, of course, allow my friend Dale Johnson to take his reputation, his stellar reputation, take it to the next level. So call Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, 956-566-6822. The website is chamberlainltd.com.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
You pay thousands of dollars in property tax every year, and it just seems to get higher. But what if I told you you could potentially reduce what you pay each year significantly, and it would cost you absolutely nothing? Either we make your property tax bill smaller, or you pay us nothing, zero. We're CAD Tax. CAD Tax has successfully been reducing property taxes for years, saving people thousands of dollars, and that reduces your monthly payment to the bank, or it puts money directly into your pocket. Homes, apartments, commercial properties, CAD Tax makes it easy for you. CAD Tax, you pay absolutely nothing unless they win. And when CAD Tax wins, you win. 956-631-SAVE. CAD Tax, a local company where one of their expert staff members will assist you right now. 956-631-SAVE. 631-SAVE.
Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. A bid to reject President Trump's worldwide Liberation Day tariffs has fallen short in the Senate as most Republicans stayed aligned with the White House despite growing concerns about the economy. Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote that killed the bipartisan effort. European auto giants have reported a sharp drop in first quarter profit and suspended and cut full year financial guidance. The corporate updates come shortly after Trump imposed a 25% tariff on automotive imports into the U.S. earlier this month. Germany's Mercedes scrapped its 2025 earnings guidance and reported sharply lower first quarter profit. During an interview with CNBC, Yum Brands CEO David Gibbs claimed President Trump's sweeping tariffs haven't impacted the company's many chains across the world. Yum Brands owns several major fast food chains, including KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. Futures are sharply higher. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials gained 141. The NASDAQ lost 14. That's your money now.
Your smartphone could be getting smarter soon.
There's a push in Texas to create a slate of digital IDs, including a driver's license and both hunting and fishing licenses. State Senator Royce West says 14 states already do this.
This bill will take a giant leap forward in bringing state government functions to the digital age.
Those IDs, he says, would require a biometric lock. That way, a stolen phone cannot work like a stolen ID. And he says it would not be valid for voting or buying alcohol.
And again, news from Ford Motors. Their CEO extending the automaker employee pricing for everyone through July 4th. AccuWeather says highs for today should be mid-90s, low to mid-90s, and at the moment, temperatures upper 70s. Thank you for making us a part of your morning, and we invite you to join us at Radio Para Mí. That's the free app. You download it. It is free, and you can join us at the app on your smartphone and even in your EV. Right? You can go to the Bluetooth side and get Radio Para Mí. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on the Valley's Morning News.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Hess Fitness Products. They have the largest selection of fitness equipment and accessories in McAllen to custom fit you. If it feels good, you will use it. Remember, health is wealth. Exercise is a fountain of youth. There are no magic pills or injections to replace exercise, and with the help of Hess Fitness Products, you can exercise in the safe comfort of your own home. Go to HessFitness.com. That's HessFitness.com. Look better, feel better, do more.
The silence is deafening at the polls. Only 5% of the registered voters in McAllen District 1 have voted. I'm Tim Wilkins, endorsed by Congresswoman Mayra Flores and GOP Chair Robert Cantu. If you want conservative leadership, you should vote Election Day Saturday at Gonzales Elementary. Visit timmakesense.com for more information. I've got the energy and vision to take McAllen to new heights, and I won't turn it into a 34-year career like my opponent. Vote Saturday, Election Day at Gonzales Elementary. Political ad paid for by Tim Wilkins.
News and information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Thank you much for making us a part of your morning. That's the morning news on News Talk 710 KURV. And for y'all who join us on the radio faithfully, thank you. 7 o'clock hour of the morning news. Just put a little check mark there. 710 KURV is live on YouTube, 710 KURV X, Twitter, 710 KURV Facebook as well. And of course, Radio Para Mi. Download the free app. Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine, news on 710 KURV. A service of Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There is an agreement now signed for the United States to partner with Ukraine on reconstruction and natural resources investment. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox Business.
This was first presented to the Ukrainians on February 10th. We signed yesterday. As you know, there was a bit of turbulence in between, but I think that this is win-win for both sides, and it's very innovative.
He says uncertainty caused by new Trump tariffs will lessen every day and every week. Former Vice President Kamala Harris refers to the last few months as absolute chaos.
And it's certainly true of those tariffs. Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly fighting a recession.
She spoke in San Francisco addressing Engage America. That's a nonprofit organization that recruits and trains women to run for office. It was at an event celebrating its 20th anniversary. America's listening to Fox News.
After more than 6 years of construction and, of course, some cost overruns, the grand opening is today for the new Hidalgo County Courthouse. They'll have a reception and blessing, and of course, a ribbon cutting. Parking is limited. There will be some additional parking at Edinburgh City Hall. Putting the 10 Commandments in school classrooms is a priority for Governor Greg Abbott, but it's not a slam dunk yet.
The biblical plan has already passed in the state Senate and is now up for debate in the House. State Representative Candy Noble says posting the 10 Commandments in classrooms reminds kids of what's important in school.
Respect authority, respect others, tell the truth, keep your word.
But even if it's signed by the governor, it faces an uncertain future. Last year, a federal judge struck down a similar law in Louisiana. That case is currently pending in an appeals court and is likely headed for a showdown in the U.S. Supreme Court.
Fresh numbers in from D.C. Initial jobless claims are up more than expected, possible indication of the uncertainty in the economy. President Trump's tariffs might mean fewer toys for Christmas. The CEO of the Toy Association telling the media this week that because of tariffs, that still need to settle. The industry is facing a frozen supply chain. Construction is underway for a new Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing facility. No, not in Texas. No, Arizona. They have many assembly lines.
It marks the third manufacturing plant in Phoenix and comes after the chip maker recently announced an additional $100 billion investment into the U.S. Attending Tuesday's groundbreaking ceremony was U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. He called the occasion the return of American manufacturing. Some big-name tech companies like Apple and NVIDIA are customers of TSMC. In Phoenix, I'm Matt Mattinson.
Yeah, NVIDIA, they made headlines a few weeks back. Houston, Dallas, big production facilities expected for Texas. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV on your station for Astros baseball. Got the Astros tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Talk Radio. They'll be in South Chicago against the Chi Sox. Astros baseball on 710 KURV, a service of Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Big thank you to all the folks over at the Mission Economic Development Office.
Time is of the essence. I urge you to vote no on Proposition A, the venue arena. They claim tourists and ticket buyers will foot the bill.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami